Hey, it's Brandon Tenold of Brandon's Cult Movie Reviews. Join me for In Search of Darkness, Part 2.
The 80s was the splatter decade.
There was something really dark and sexy and strange.
People love this stuff.
I just couldn't get enough.
It's full of things that want to bite you and kill you and eat you.
I love those Italian movies. They're just crazy.
That's an image that I'll never forget.
Hey kids! Welcome to prime time.
Last episode I talked about Demons 2, a sequel that stuck a little too closely to the original since it had basically the same plot as the first movie, just transported to a new location. Well, now here's a sequel that does the exact opposite of that, since House 2 has almost nothing to do with the first one. I would say it's kind of the Halloween 3 of the House franchise, but the third movie also had nothing to do with the first two, so I guess that's the Halloween 3 of this series. The first House proved to be an unexpected hit, and since producer Sean S. Cunningham also worked on the Friday the 13th series, it's no surprise he tried to quickly crank out a sequel. So in 1987, we got House 2, The Second Story. Get it? Instead of continuing with the plot and characters introduced in the first one, this features a completely new story and cast, with the only similarity to the original being that it's also a horror comedy about supernatural stuff happening in a big weird house. Cunningham once again produced this entry, but while the first was directed by Steve Miner, this time directing duties were handled by the first film's co-writer, Ethan Wiley, who would later go on to make... Well, he directed this movie. Sean Cunningham presents Jason Voorhees and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. By the way, I'll try not to make too many Crystal Skull jokes in this video, but I'm not making any promises. Whoa, Bill Maher's in this? Is he gonna spend the whole movie saying ghosts don't exist because there's no afterlife? Man, look at this place. Just think, if this were made today, this house would probably be full of YouTubers or TikTok kids. Anyway, we get a prologue that looks like it takes place in the 50s or early 60s, so I'm assuming this baby's being taken away because it's suspected of being a communist. I'm also not sure why the parents have that gun. All the animals in this place are already dead. And unfortunately for them, they're not the only dead things in here.
What do you want?
The skull.
Okay, I don't know who this guy is, but he's voiced by Frank Welker, so you better listen to him.
I don't know where it is. It's not here.
Yeah, that's what you get for bringing a gun to a ghost fight, bitch. Cut to 25 years later, and the house's new owner is our main character, Jesse, who's moving in with his girlfriend, Kate. Yeah, this place may look like a steal, but hopefully their realtor told him that people died in this house, and also that they might still be here. Ooh, and the previous owners left all their books behind. Let's see, Necronomicon.
I don't believe it.
Well, they really need someone.
That's my mom and dad.
So turns out Jesse's the baby we saw at the beginning. I guess he finally got to inherit his parents' old house 25 years after they got ghost murdered. Besides the dead people, there's some other stuff in this house Jesse needs to worry about. Well, at least it wasn't a cat in there. And because you're in a mansion in the middle of Los Angeles, you can expect some drunken hangers-on to randomly show up in the middle of the night. These two are Jesse's friend Charlie and his girlfriend Lana, and because Kate's a talent scout for a record label, they're hoping to show her their new song.
That I'd be taken up to hyperspace. It seems so strange. Seems so strange.
Not bad. Add a couple lyrics about your pussy and dance like that in the music video, and I think you got yourselves a hit.
This is you? But you don't have a contract yet. I mean, you haven't signed anything yet, have you?
Oh no! We don't believe in success.
Well, that's good. With that kind of attitude, you're sure to achieve all your goals. If you're wondering what the skull from the opening credits has to do with anything, turns out Jesse's great-great-grandfather found a crystal skull that could supposedly grant eternal life before being betrayed by his partner, Slim Reezer. Well, you already inherited a mansion from your parents. Might as well dig up your great-great-grandpappy and see if you can get any more free shit from him. Alright, time to take this baby to a pawn shop and see how much I can get for it. Psych! Well, great. You just woke up an Aztec mummy and the robot is nowhere to be found.
It's me. I'm your great-great-grandson.
Yeah, of course he's your great-great-grandson. Can't you see the resemblance? Jesse's great-great-grandpappy is played by character actor Royal Dano, who you might remember from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Dano specialized in playing crazy old coots, so this movie lets him play the role of a lifetime, a really old dead coot. Now that he's been resurrected, Royal Dano can audition for a role in The Frighteners. He also says the skull can open doors through time and space, so just put it in the middle of the living room where anybody could fuck with it. I'm sure it's fine. And just what do we call Jesse's great-great-grandfather anyway?
Heck, I'm your great-great-grandfather. You can call me Gramps.
Zombie Gramps. Got it. Gramps wants to have a night on the town, but he gets a little upset once he realizes he's dead as shit.
Look at me. A goddamn zombie.
Hey, don't be sad, Gramps. You could still make some money taking pictures with tourists on Hollywood Boulevard. Or just take Jesse's sports car out for a spin. It's not like he's using it. Listen, Charlie. Bad idea to go against Gramps in a drinking contest. I mean, you can't die of alcohol poisoning if you're already dead.
I better drive.
You should probably just both call a cab. Or don't. In addition to Royal Dano, this also features Bill Maher as Kate's boss in the kind of role he was born to play, a smarmy douchebag.
What are you doing here? Oh, well, your beautiful lady informed me that she's found the Madonna of the 80s. I thought I'd better come by and check it out.
I thought Madonna was the Madonna of the 80s.
I thought Madonna was the Madonna of the 80s, huh?
Whoa, take it easy, Charlie. I'll riff the movie, okay?
Very good. Who's your friend, Bozo the Clown?
Personally, I would have said Charlie looks like Jim Carrey from Dumb and Dumber, but, to each their own. Oh, jeez, what the hell is Gramps doing with all those tissues? He better not have been spilling his ectoplasm all over the basement. Now that you got the opportunity, let's ask Gramps about Slim Reeser.
We had a disagreement about who the skulls belonged to. Well, he took a shot at me first, so I had to teach him a lesson.
And that was that?
Yeah, well, that was that.
You know, even under all that makeup, Royal Dano's still giving a good performance here. I guess he's just that good at playing old prospector types. Gramps might not be as innocent as he lets on, though.
Gramps, did you ever rob a stagecoach?
Sure.
Right.
All the time.
And don't even get me started on all the engine murdering and raping I did. Oh boy, I did so much raping. What? What is it? Where are you going? And why didn't they think of this before? Instead of keeping Gramps in the basement, just throw a Halloween party. He'll fit right in.
Guess who?
Colleen Camp from Clue? Is that who you're dressed up as? I hate to break it to you, Jesse, but I think Bill Maher might be trying to steal your girl, which you should have guessed he was going to do as soon as you saw that he was Bill Maher. The party really goes south when somebody shows up in a bad Ultimate Warrior costume and tries to take the skull. He even beats up Kane Hodder. What an asshole.
You better pack your ass in a suitcase and head for Panama.
I don't know what that means. At last, the secret of Dan Aykroyd's Crystal Head vodka will finally be mine. You two better go after him. Alright, well, you found the sound effects room. Okay, no more playing around. If you want to travel through time and space, you're gonna need some serious firepower. Look, fellas, you can reenact your favorite scene from Predator later. Right now, you gotta get the skull. Hey, stop-motion dinosaurs. Now, this movie just moved up a notch. And they really should have known the guy who looks like a pro wrestler was gonna use some power moves on him. Oh good, they're saved by more stop motion. Although I'm not sure just what the hell this thing is. Are they supposed to be in prehistoric times or an Ewok adventure? Alright, now you can finally get the skull.
The skull is right!
Nope, stop motion giveth and stop motion taketh away. The effects for this sequence were done by Phil Tippett and Mark Sullivan, two of the best guys in the business for that kind of thing. And for a relatively low-budget movie, they're actually pretty well done. Bad news though, Jesse. Before you can get the skull, you also gotta deal with some unruly Muppets.
Nice bird. Nice birdie. Jeez.
It's taking every ounce of willpower to resist putting "not the mama" over this part. Oh well, at least I get to use this joke again.
The hell was that?
It sounded like a bomb.
Well, this movie may not have been as successful as the first one, but still made money. Okay, you got the skull, but you also brought something else back with you. Oh my god, they finally did it. They actually combined a glowworm with a pound puppy. Those maniacs! Alright, I should probably point out a few key differences between this movie and the first one. In the original, there were plenty of weird monsters and puppets, but they kind of reminded me of the villains you'd see in the early seasons of the real Ghostbusters cartoon. They were cartoonish, sure, but also weirdly creepy in a way. The puppets in this one... well, they lean mainly just to the cartoony side. Also, while the first movie definitely had a sense of humor, it also tried to balance it out with some scary moments. House 2, on the other hand, puts the emphasis much more on goofy humor, to the point where I can't really call it a horror movie at all. It's basically a wacky comedy with a bunch of supernatural stuff in it. And I'm not just saying that because Bill Maher's here.
Hey, buddy, what's cooking in the kitchen?
Nothing.
Well, can I see?
Look, Bill, this is one of those movies you're gonna say on your show that you regret being in. Just let the puppets do their thing. Jesse tells Kate about Gramps and the skull, which she doesn't believe. Not really sure why, though. She's a psychic who fought Jason Voorhees, for Christ's sake. Well, that does it. Bill Maher is taking both of your girlfriends and seeing if he can get them drunk enough to agree to a threesome. I'm starting to think this skull is more trouble than it's worth. Last movie had a fake dog scare. This one has a fake dog, caterpillar, whatever the fuck that is, scare. Look, Gramps, I know the skull is the only thing keeping you alive, but this time portal shit is really starting to get out of control. If things keep going like this, the movie's gonna end like Evil Dead 2. Except instead of Bruce Campbell, the friend from Ellen's gonna have to save everybody. Here's one similarity to the first movie. The original had George Wendt in it, so here's John Ratzenberger to give you another cameo from a Cheers star.
All along this wall, but the rest of the house is fine.
I wouldn't worry about that, Jess. Didn't look too valuable. You just gotta teach him who's boss. You know, sort of give him a spanking. Must be foreign made.
Hey, and John brought some jokes with him. Nice to know what it would look like if John Ratzenberger was a Ghostbuster. Ah, well, there's your problem.
Looks like you got some kind of alternate universe in there or something.
Damn, and my home insurance doesn't cover that. I knew I should have gotten the multiverse package. And come on, movie, I've been trying not to make any Indiana Jones references because of the whole Crystal Skull thing, but you are really making it tempting right now. Screw it. Thankfully, John Ratzenberger's dealt with stuff like this before. One time he had to completely rewire a house after some cannibals messed it up.
Jess? It's been a pleasure. Oh, and Jess, listen, if you need any more work done, just give me a call there, huh? Take care, Charlie.
Who was that man?
A character I wish was in the movie more, that's who. Alright, not only did you get the skull back, but looks like Jesse managed to get himself a new girl. And since she doesn't speak English, she can't call you a jerk like your last girlfriend. This looks like Thanksgiving at the Jim Henson household. Anyway, what's for dinner? Ghost Cowboy? Oh man, we had that yesterday. This is Gramps' old partner, Slim Reeser, and since I already brought up the real Ghostbusters, is it me or does he kind of look like Tex Hex from Brave Star? Brave Star? Anybody else remember that cartoon? Whatever.
I knew you'd catch up with me sooner or later.
No, you just killed Gramps! Again. Shit, not only did Slim grab Aztec Girl in the skull, but Gramps is losing a lot of dust. If you want to save him, you're gonna have to follow Slim. I'll bet he's hiding out in World War II. Oh, never mind, I guess it's the Old West. You know, you could have just opened the window. Not only a slim and impressive makeup job, but he even brought more stop-motion animation with him. Some people might criticize this movie for waiting until almost the end to get to the main villain, but the original also kind of did that with Big Ben, and he was the best ghost in that. Instead of the OK Corral, they're having a shootout at the OK Horror Movie sequel. Look, Jesse, Slim's got a bit of an advantage here considering he's already dead. You're gonna need some bigger guns. Well, great. Now you're cursed to have 7 years bad sequels. Actually, they stopped making sequels 5 years after this, so I think you're good. Oh, and there's an idea. Just call the cops and say you've got a ghost, or zombie, or mummy, or whatever the hell Slim's supposed to be.
Jesse? You got the place surrounded. Why don't you come out peacefully and give yourself up?
Good idea. That way you won't get shot by a ghost cowboy. I guess Jesse's gonna have to get rid of Slim himself. Should I still do the decapitation drop since it didn't happen all at once? I'll just leave it.
That's a good boy. I thought for sure he'd kick your ass.
Mainly because you're such a pussy.
This is it, kid. I've done all I can do in this world.
God damn it, Royal Dano, quit giving a good performance under all that makeup. Oh, and bad news, Jesse. Turns out dead people aren't that easy to kill again. You know, Slim's already survived having his fucking head blown off. What's this supposed to do? Okay, apparently the only way to kill a zombie in this movie is to shoot him anywhere but the head. Well, Gramps is a goner and they already dug up his casket, so just bury him in the backyard. And what the hell? They're stuck in the Old West now? Does that mean the third movie's gonna be like Back to the Future 3? Even though this is the end, I wonder how Jesse and Charlie's latest adventure is gonna turn out for him. Oh, well that kinda sucks. While not the unexpected hit the first movie proved to be, House 2 was still profitable enough that Sean Cunningham ended up producing 2 more sequels, although the third film is only sometimes considered a sequel and was originally marketed as if it was a standalone movie. Part of the reason for that could be because in addition to getting trashed by critics, a lot of fans of the first one really didn't like House 2. Okay, maybe I'm a little jaded, but as far as sequels that don't have anything to do with the first one go, this is a hell of a lot better than something like Star Crash 2. Okay, some people might not like the lighter, more comedic tone or the monsters being more cutesy than scary here, but a lot of the effects are still fun, and I can appreciate that this one at least tried to do its own thing instead of just copying the original. Throw in an unexpectedly good performance from Royal Dano and a fun John Ratzenberger cameo, and I don't really get where all the hate comes from. It's not as good as the first movie, but as far as sequels to horror franchises go, I can name a lot worse than this. The sequels I've covered so far have swung between being too similar and too different from the original, but next episode I'm going to be doing a horror sequel that's just right. Well, that's all for now. Until next time.
Now you take this Ronald Reagan fella. He sure is a pansy.